World-class players are incredibly good at anticipating shots, especially after they hurt an opponent. They can read really well when there is a shorter and attackable ball. And that anticipation skill is not something that they're necessarily born with. It's something that they've been taught, and it's something that, of course, over years and years and years, they've developed that. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the cues are that you need to look for to see those shorter balls, those attackable balls, way sooner so that you're ready to jump on those. To work on those skills, obviously, it's great if you watch pro matches, but to be perfectly honest, sometimes it's really easy to miss those small little details in their speed. And that is why it's so crucial that you watch your own matches and matches of players of your level. And it couldn't be any easier thanks to the sponsor of this video, SWINGVISION. Record your own matches, use your phone, put it right into that holder here of the swing stick, extend it, use that little clip here, hook it into the fence, press record, and you're good to go. And by the way, if you use the link down below, you get a free swing stick that is worth $100 with a year of the SWINGVISION Pro subscription. And that is with free international shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. The best features of the SWINGVISION app is the editing feature. A match that lasts 2.5 hours is edited down to about 20-25 minutes because all the dead time is removed and you're not wasting time. Or you can just jump to the AI selections that are automatically created, such as your serves, your returns, or the longest rallies or the best points. The feature though that I used a lot for this video is the slow-mo function, because as I said earlier, if you watch points or strokes in real live pace, you oftentimes miss the details that are crucial. So I use that slow-mo function quite a bit to really see how players reacted to certain shots. Let me show what I mean. I'll show you a point first in real speed, and it's the player in the background who's missing a few opportunities. We could say that he's aggressive because he's looking to use his forehand. He hits very heavy rotation, he's swinging fast, heavy topspin. So what are you talking about? Which opportunities is he missing? First missed opportunity is right here off the return. So I'll stop it right here. Now you notice that the ball is coming really deep, kind of slow, and this is a short hop ball. This is not an ideal setup for a really good quality ball. So in this moment here, seeing the short hop, I want this player to move up half a step and be ready to really jump on that short ball, which he's not doing at all. So now let's look at where he's catching the ball. Number one, the ball bounces really short and it's rising. I want to say here is the top of the bounce. And that is where he could have taken the ball earlier or even on the rise because it's a slower ball. But he actually lets it drop ever so slightly. Not terrible, but it's those small nuances that you want to get better at. And now we're looking at him playing to the backhand of his opponent and focus on how aggressively he has to move to the backhand. He's being pulled sideways first, can't really move up diagonally to the ball. He's choosing to hit a slice, and that right there tells me that that's going to be an attackable ball. He's not totally off balance, but it's not an ideal setup. So on that ball, I again want him to look for a shorter ball and then go for that shot. And instead, again, he's kind of waiting, stepping in, and what I thought would be a clear approach shot, he's just choosing to hit another rally ball basically, and then he gets another forehand and misses that. So to my mind, there should have been one forehand after which he comes in and one volley. Seeing that his opponent was resorting to a slice that was kind of floating there, it probably would have been a fairly easy volley put away. So in my mind, he didn't need to hit another two forehands. The giveaway, the tell, that will tell you that you can probably expect a shorter ball is that you're looking for your opponent to not be able to set up for an ideal stroke. You look for a compromised swing. So in short, as one of my coaches used to say, you're looking for a deviation of their ideal setup. Now, when I'm balanced, meaning that my head is fairly still and it's over my center of gravity, and when I can comfortably transfer my body weight into the ball, I can step in. And of course, if I'm catching the ball in my ideal strike zone, which is between shoulder and hip, that's when I hit my most powerful shots. And of course, when I can do all of that, then I'll be able to produce a good quality shot. At the very least, you cannot attack that. So your job now is to look for any cue that shows you that your opponent is not able to set up in the ideal way. And that starts as they're moving to the ball, because that is the first time that you can see whether they're going to be on balance. Will they hit the ball in their strike zone? Will they be able to transfer their body weight into the shot? And depending on how severe the issues are that they have as they set up, strike the ball, that is when you get a shorter ball and you need to jump on that. Now at lower levels, usually the tells are a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more obvious. You do see players completely off balance, and that should be a dead giveaway. At higher levels, the clues are usually a little bit more subtle, as we, for instance, saw in that example before. The player managed really well to hit that short hop ball, but the short hop is still not the perfect setup that he could have managed, so that is the cue right there that that's going to give you a shorter ball. And here's a great way to learn how to look for those deviations in the setup. What you're going to do is when you watch your matches, go ahead and freeze the film right before your opponent is about to strike. And you can almost run through a little bit of a checklist, if you will. Did they have to move really aggressively to the ball? Will they be able to step into the ball, or are they just pulled laterally with 3-4 aggressive steps? Will they be able to make contact in their strike zone? What about their balance? So to get started on that, let's do a few examples together. In this point, we can use both players as examples. They show us pretty well what to expect if we have the time to look for the correct cues. In slow-mo, of course. So I'll stop it right here. You did notice that this player here is about to get jammed. She cannot set up properly. She has to move away from the ball there to make space. And that ball is going to be very short. So basically, instead of recovering to back here, when you see this here, you see how she's falling off to the side? You can take a step into the court already. Instead, our player here in the foreground is moving back, and now she has to sprint outright. Full go. And now this player needs to read that her own ball was very short, not by design necessarily, but it doesn't matter. And this player is changing to a slice, to a one-hander off of her usual two-handed backhand. And again, she's coming from all the way here to all the way up here. I want this player, instead of just hovering on the baseline here, this is a moving in opportunity. And you see that here, barely scrapes the ball back off the court, basically, if you will. Would you have been ready for a shorter ball? And yes, of course, in a match you will not have 30-40 seconds to analyze the freeze frame of your opponent's setup. But of course, as with any skill, the more you do this, the quicker you will pick up on those little tells, and it will absolutely translate into you being able to jump way faster onto those attackable balls and win more points. Also, another quick tip, when you then go out on court and you practice your anticipation skill, pick only one of the cues you want to focus on. So for instance, can they set up and catch that ball in their strike zone, because that is one, to my mind, easiest tells to see. So let me know down in the comments which of the tells you're going to work on in a match or even just a hitting session, and then let me know how that went.